Okay, so let's try this accessibility review. And again, this is not scripted. There will be noises in the background because it's too hot here and my window is open. So there will be trucks and buses and seagulls and everything. That's what you're going to hear. So what you're seeing is the requirements for the accessibility ready tag for the themes. And we have the topics here are the headlines for all the requirements. So I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to add it to my editor. Oh, I have not prepared this. Okay, I'm going to open the theme that I'm going to work on right here. And then I'm going to add the structure for my test. See? So these are all the headlines for the requirements. And we're going to start by testing the keyboard navigation. So let me make sure the right theme is activated. Yes, excellent. So I'm going to tab away. We have skip links. Looks good. And skip links are working as well. Great. Just gonna remove that. Okay, so we have a focus around the entire header here. Okay. The site title. The menu seems to be working very well. And we can also tab backwards. So how do I access the search? Okay, whoop, all the way to the end. There we go. There's a search. The search expands. Great. And the next item is the icon. Excellent. So I'm going to press enter and see what happens. Okay. There is no... I was kind of expecting like a heading that explains that I'm now at the search result page. I'm not sure if that's something that I can require though. Anyway, we continue through the posts. You can see we have underlines for links, except for the post and page title, which only has a color change. This might be enough because we have the focus line here, the blue line, and the size of the text is quite large, so the contrast required might be lower than for other types of texts. Let's open the sample page. Oh, I don't want to skip through the menu, sorry. Okay, edit link is still working. Okay, the requirement says that the links in content, like large text contents, like in text widgets or pages, has to be underlined, so this needs to be fixed. For me, this link it's hardly visible because the text is black and the link color is dark blue, and then you switch to the green. The green actually more it's easier for me to see the green color than the difference between the black and the blue, for example. Okay, so you can see the focus is already on the search. And the widgets are both the widget links, are both underlined and it changes colors. That looks good. And so there is no text widget here. I don't think we're gonna go as far as to actually create one and test the links in the text widget, but we'll add it to the review. Okay, we don't need to check those. Let's look at the comment form. Doesn't look like the links in the comment area are underlined either. No, they're not. And not in the table. These links usually require extra styling because they're inside the table. This looks okay to me. Contrast is good enough. Okay, like I said, let's look at the actual form. Let's log out. So we can see all the fields. Oh, sorry, too many comments in this. Okay, that's clearly visible focus. We have the required star here. Required fields are marked with a star, both color change and symbol. Yeah, that looks okay. Visible labels. Okay, let's go back to the keyboard navigation. It does pause, the search, everything. The menu works both backwards and forwards. Controls. Let's look at the little search button here. And what I'm searching for is I'm making sure it has a label and it is a button. You might not be able to see this because I'm opening developer tools and the recorder does not understand that I'm opening developer tools because it's not set up properly. But I'm looking at the search icon. It's a generic icon, and it says area hidden true. And it's okay because we also have a screen reader text down here that says search. So we both have a label that's search for, and we have the placeholder search, and we also have a title for the input field. Okay, excellent. So I'm gonna say that the controls pause. Oh, before I write pause there, let's look at the if there's a responsive menu button or something. Oh, there we go. The menu changed quite a bit there. And let's test this one as well then. So I'm just tabbing and title selected, and let's see the menu. Enter. Okay. Again, these links only have a color, they don't have an underline. But the buttons are all working. Yep. So where do I end up if I close the menu? Okay, at the post. Okay. So this contrast change here, where the background color changes, is not applied to the responsive menu. And I don't think the color change for the links is enough. Okay. I said I'm going to set that to pass. The skip links, we already tested those. Excellent. Pass. Screen read text. Check that. Let's pass. Forms. We have all the labels are there, both for the search and for the comment form. I'm not going to check comment forms for like plugins and stuff. I'll leave that to the team matter. And pass. Also the fields were it was clearly focused. Okay, let's look at the headings. I'm using an extension for the Chrome web browser called Headings Map, and this extension is also listed on the accessibility team's website, I believe, as a resource. Okay, so we got one single H1 at the top, that's the site title, and we got H2 all the way. And let's look at a single page. We have two H1s. I'm gonna note that actually. And then we can go back and read the requirements and double check if it's okay or not. I think it's preferred to have just one. Okay, but no other headings are skipped. As you can see, the widget areas are all H2s. Okay, let's look at the page and see if it follows the same pattern. Yeah. And let's look at an archive. Oh, of course it's a page, you won't have one, so do we have uncategorized? Okay, let's look at the titles on this page. Yeah, so the category here is also an age one. And the search results only have one. Actually, while I'm adding this about the search result, I'm also going to include because snippet is being added by the ghost. Search result, search result pages only have one H1. I would recommend adding a title here that explains that the user is viewing the search result page. Actually, let's test what happens if I actually search for something. No. So even if I actually have a search word instead of an empty search, it doesn't add a section title. I don't think it is required by the guidelines for themes. I'm using clarification, so it's up to her if she wants to add it or not. Okay. Aria landmark roles. So, according to the requirements, everything needs to be in a role or under a role, and I'm going to cheat. I have a tool for this as well. Another extension called Visual Area. Let's see. Okay, so now I can easily see all the rows added. Well, I'm already at footer, so we have footer, we have sidebar, we have the search, and the posts content here are wrapped in main, and we have menu, we have the second search, the first, however you want to count it, we have a banner here, and one menu. Yeah, I would say that let's look at the single page as well, just to make sure. And we have the next and previous post navigation here also in the landmark. Aria row navigation. Okay. It says unlabeled here because there's only one navigation here, so it should be okay. Oh, it's the wrong tool, sorry. If you had like several different navigation in close proximity, you could label them differently to separate them, but I think this looks fine. Looks fine to me. So, pause. Okay, content links. We already checked that one. Went a bit too fast, sorry. Okay. Did not pass. Links inside text box like posts, text widgets. Must be underlined. Why? default. So when I add this, I also wanted to link to the requirement, and I think, I mean, it's been a while now, but this is, since it takes so long to release a theme on website.org, this content link requirement is actually quite new. It might not even have been here when they started to develop and plan the theme. So I'm just gonna add the link. Oh, let's go back to the editor right there. And let's see. Oh, right. Posts, comments. Underlined. And here, I mean, it's not gonna matter if you use a border or if you use an actual link underline. Either should be okay. I'm gonna save this so I don't actually lose anything. So, okay, repetitive link text. So this one is about having read more links. I mean, it's not only about read more links, but it's the most common. It's to avoid, empty links and links that has this several links with the same text, because it's difficult to know. If the links are identical, it's difficult for people to know where they actually go, or if there's something different between them, or why there are two. And we have a screen read text here with the post title, and it should be enough. And we also have the icon. I'm gonna say pass on that one, because it doesn't say just read more or more. It says more, and then it has a screen read text with the title, so everyone knows where they are. Okay, contrast. Now, the question that I had, I'm pretty sure both of these colors alone, the green and the blue, are okay. And this background color as well. But I'm not sure if these links, it's okay not to have an underline or other type of text decoration here. Because I'm not sure if the difference between the green and the blue is, if it has a high enough contrast. Okay, so I'm gonna open Wave. Now, Wave is good. It says here 0 contrast errors, but it cannot test everything, unfortunately. So I'm gonna try to find the colors, and I'm gonna try to make sure. So we have the blue and we have the green. What I'm doing, again, as you can't see, is that I'm using the developer tool, just selecting the element and just finding colors and adding them to the fields here. Okay, so the contrast between these link colors is only 1.85, which is not enough. Okay, so it did not pass. Okay, let's go back to the requirements, because I wanted to double check what contrast is needed for the large text. Let's see if it says. No, it doesn't say. It says 4.5 for small text. So excuse that little coughing attack. So I'm looking for the information for what contrast is needed for large text, because this is not part of the requirement. Oh, small text even. What is large text? This is the one I'm already using, so let's try this one. Okay, so large text needs a contrast ratio at least 3:1. And so what exactly is large text? Is it a specific... Alright. So at least 18 points, not pixels, or... Okay. Or 14 bold. Are these bold? No, but this might be bold and larger than 18. Oh, let's look at the computed concept set. Okay. The font size is 29.376 pixels. It doesn't look like 29 to me. It looks kind of smaller. Am I at 100%? Oh well. Well, if Chrome says it's 29, it's 29. So let's try to help them out by identifying some links that are missing colors. We have the read more. Actually, it just says more, doesn't it? And categories and admin and the date, as well as the comment. They all have online. The widgets are underlined by default, but it's still difference between the different states. Statuses, states, I don't know. Okay, again, I'm looking at the font size for the navigation is 25 pixels. Should be more than 18 points here. Oh, come on, I'm looking at the wrong line. 17. The line height is 25. Okay, so 17 or 18 points. Let's consider this as small text, and either way, we already know the contrast is less than 3. Older articles and newer articles, yeah. I assume it says newer here. All the way. I think that might be it. There we go, next and previous post navigation. So the problem here that I can never wrap my head around is that sometimes when I speak to the developers or people who are interested in accessibility, they seem to say that recognizability is important. So for example, if I'm used to reading a lot of websites, which most people are right now, unless they are like really old, they know that the site title and the page title are already linked to the content, yeah? To the first front page or to the different posts and pages. They already know this, so they're expecting it to be a link to a page, yeah? And we also have the mouse pointer changes to hand here, for example, when I load a link. So the mouse pointer is actually also an indication that it's a link, so that helps. And now when I tab, you can clearly see the blue line for the focus. So if the color is not important to me, I can still see that at least there's a line around it. So I don't think I'm going to require the post and page titles and the site title to be underlined, because this is such a common pattern that people already recognize it, and the focus is okay for the keyboard users. However, these to read more, I think I'm going to mention that at least. So it would be nice to have a definite answer if the mouse pointer and focus is enough. So, how do you spell recognizable? No, not recognizable as links, since it is expected that the range of post titles link to the post itself. I think this is quite difficult because, navigation, isn't that expected to link to the next previous post? Probably. I don't really know where to draw the line. The simplest way to solve these problems is to add an line to everything. It might not be pretty, so yeah, let's send this here. Let me type out this little text. Just finding colors of your path is difficult. The easiest way to pass requirement is to add a text decoration such as a color underline, etc. Okay, let's go back and look at the responsive menu then, because what did we find here? Yeah, there is no background color change for the responsive menu. Spelling, come on Acuarela. These do not have a background color change. Okay, keep navigation, control, skip link, forms, headings. We have some things left. Okay, images. So let's media not found, not allowed. Oh, actually, let's just search for the tab index then to make sure. Shouldn't be anything strange here. It's not very common. Oh, come on, can't spell. Tab index and target. Okay, no links opening in new windows then. Okay, let's look at the image requirements again, because I can't remember them. Okay, decorative images must be included using CSS. Where theme orders add images to template markup provided method for users to add images, theme must incorporate an appropriate alt attribute for the means for end users to provide one. This one, the means for end users to provide one. I guess if you have options for upload images that are not in the media library, I'm not sure what this means. Can we find a featured image? Or do we have to add one? Oh, okay, so this one, we can see there's a little effect here when we hover over it. Let's look for the alt text. Yep, horizontal featured image, that's fine. Okay, so icons that are company text must be hidden, correct? Look at any icon fonts or decorative images used on the site. Ensure that icon fonts have a fallback text alternative, like the search. For example, the search button had a screen reader text, and some of these icons are also hidden. We checked that already. Let's look at the little clock here. Area hidden true. And the text that accompanied the little clock is, of course, this date here. And we have tags and categories, yeah. So, for example, this tag icon represents this whole list and doesn't have like a screen. The text explains that these are tags, but again, these are links to existing tag pages. This is not going to be an issue. We have the categories at the top. Again, the icon is hidden, excellent. And again, doesn't explain that it's a category. Unless you look carefully at the code, of course, but I don't think it needs to explain it's a category. I mean, that's not how people search the site, yeah? If they're interested in the word, you're gonna click on it. If they're not interested in classic templates or categorized, they're not gonna click on it. And it doesn't matter if it's a tag or category. Okay, pass. And one more thing. We're going to look up the H1 headings. I'm not sure if it says it's recommended to only have one, or if you can only have one. Let's scroll down here. Use a reasonable HTML structure. Okay. Use of headings for subsections. Heading markup must not be used for presentation purpose. That's fine. Heading elements for structure may be positioned off screen as long as it's not an expensive body structure. That's also okay. Subsections defined by your theme must use heading elements. This includes wrapping your post title in a heading used in article context and wrapping widget titles in headings. And we already checked that all the widget titles are H2, so yes. Okay, failure criteria. So it says the failure is to have no heading, no H1 heading. But so that one is a pass because it does have one. So the other failure criteria is that all headings are H1s, so that's not true either. Okay, and the third one is headings do not skip levels when descending. H1 cannot be followed by H3. And it says test. Find any skipped heading levels. No. Test whether H1 is missing. Yeah, we did that one. Test whether all the headings are the same. We did that one. They're not the same. And again, tool is the heading map. So I'm gonna remove my comment then. And I'm going to say pass. And I would recommend adding a title to the search result page that explains that the user is viewing the search result page. Search result. Are we finished? I think so. Shall we? Let's look a bit at the buttons again. Okay, we get a visual focus and the color change. Do I have to find a comment for? Okay. Yeah, we have a beautiful visible focus around the button. Okay. Oh, wait, come on. Did I test these? Did I test the contrast between the black and the blue? Because these are not underlined. Yeah, let's do that. Unfortunately, the toolbar has already forgotten the color that I added earlier, so I have to copy them again. And yeah, it says foreground color, it's not a foreground color. Okay, so the black color is 555, or actually maybe it's dark gray. No. Are these? Okay, so these are tag links in a single post view. And this contrast ratio is why we can't have pretty things, like someone would say. I agree that sometimes underlines just aren't pretty and might even look, like outdated. But there are other kind of text decorations we can use. So this might break her design with the tags here. But maybe she can just change the colors to something with a more high contrast. I don't know. Okay, tags. 23. And this article was written by Team Buster. Okay, is everything in order now? Oh, so these quotes, I did not even see this. It says here that the block quote in the comment has a contrast ratio that's too low. Okay. So when we look at the team unit test, some of the blocks that are added via the new block editor are still not have a high enough contrast. However, this is not a block, this is a comment. So this is only styled by the team itself. Oh, 4.11, it needs to be 4.5. So these kind of details, you won't be able to find them unless you actually run the contrast checker on various pages. So sometimes these are details that might not be important because they only affect very, very few elements. There might be other issues that are more important to fix. But when we find them, we should at least mention them and we should require them to be fixed. So let's look at a quote inside an actual post. Yeah. So it's not just the block quotes inside the comments. It's block quotes everywhere. Okay, now can I say that we're finished now? I still think I need to clean up this text to actually make it a little bit more understandable. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off the recording now. Hey då!